I would like you to welcome a very special guest to my channel today. This is Åsa, and she is a professional mangaka in Japan. So we're going to talk to her a little bit today, and we're going to give you guys some advice for those of you that are thinking about becoming a mangaka in Japan. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk to her. So if you could just please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you ended up here.
Yeah, well, I came to Japan about 4 years ago, and by then I've been working professionally in Sweden as a freelance manga artist and illustrator for like 7 years, maybe, something like that. So that was that. And then I studied Japanese in Japan, and then I studied graphic design to get a diploma, and then after that I got published. So I was published with a book called like the Scandinavian girl Åsa's mysterious adventures in Japan.
It's hard to I know what the Japanese title is, so I'm like picturing you translating it. It's hard to translate it.
Yeah, the
mysterious
so
adventures
long.
in Japan.
But so I did that, and that was a yonkoma manga, which is like 4 panels, like strip comics.
Right.
And we just finished the second one, which will be out in like 2 weeks.
Cool. Ooh, I'm looking forward to reading it. I read the first ones and they're so adorable, and I can relate to so many of the stories in it, so it was really fun for me to read. I will link all her books down below. You can purchase them online, so if you're interested in checking them out, please do that. But I asked you guys on Facebook and Twitter if you have any questions for Åsa, so yeah, let's get into those.
Well, I think there are like a lot of different ways that you can take, a lot of different paths. And I only know how I did, what happened to me, but like you can, if you write manga, you don't necessarily have to go to Japan. That would obviously be like the easiest, but you can also write manga in your own country, get it translated to Japanese and send it to
and get it published here as well.
Well, I have one Swedish colleague who, she's like super talented mangaka, and she won a prize in Ribbon, which is a really famous shoujo manga magazine here. So it's possible to do it from outside Japan as well.
That's good to know too.
Yeah, but there is the thing with the Japanese, I suppose. You have to write in Japanese. It will be a lot easier if you can speak it yourself instead of having to translate.
Have someone translate it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first step would be learning Japanese, guys.
Yes.
So get on that first.
And that, of course, is much easier to do in Japan. So if you have a chance to do that, like schools in Japan, they are a little bit pricey, but it will also get you a visa, which is awesome. And so if you come to Japan on a student visa and study Japanese, you can like do manga katsudo. You
can work as like a manga artist.
Yeah, you can start like showing your stuff to different like magazines and editors and stuff. So it's actually really good thing to do at the same time.
There are several schools that you can go to here to study how to draw manga. So do you have experience with those? Did you go to one of those, or?
I did, but I kind of lost my nerve.
Really?
Yeah, so I really wanted to study manga, but I ended up studying graphic design
instead.
I thought, like, you can't become a manga artist in Japan, but you can.
But oh, really? So you had like, you really wanted to be a manga artist, but you kind of felt like, I think it's too difficult.
I thought, I don't know. I was like really just obsessed about like somehow working in Japan. But anyway, there are manga schools, obviously. They're called usually Seimongakko, it's like a college. And they have animation courses and manga courses and stuff. And anyone can get in as long as you clear the school's requirements.
Japanese is always one of those, I think. Are there any schools that will accept only English speakers?
No,
I think as far as I know, you need Japanese, probably N2 level. Is a pretty common requirement. So get on studying for your JLPT, which is a pain in the butt, I know, because I did it, but it's worth it. If you clear that, you're like kind of eligible for lots of different things in Japan. It'll be easier to get a visa, probably. It'll be easier to join a school and get a job. So clear your N2. You just contact a company randomly, be, hey, I draw manga, check it out, and just send it to them.
Again, there's like a lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
And so I studied graphic design, but I also had like a lot of
electives.
Electives, where I just everything was like manga related.
Right.
So from those teachers, they were like always telling us you have to do mochikomi, which is basically you bring your stuff to a publisher.
Yeah.
Or an editor and show it, and you get feedback. And I think like anyone can do this.
Really?
Yeah.
They're willing to sit down with you and look over your stuff.
Yeah, if they think your stuff is interesting.
Cool.
But I didn't do it that way. I did it like you can go to manga market of some kind. I think the most famous one is Comiket.
Right. Yeah, and set up like a little table and sell your stuff. And then publishers will come and look around at the stuff, right? So you can get recognized there.
Yeah,
and build connections that way.
Yeah, I'm more fond of one called Comitia actually. For Comiket, I mean Comiket is like so huge.
Right.
So you just kind of panic. But Comitia is smaller and it's only for original manga.
Oh.
So not doinshi, which is like Naruto.
Right.
And stuff. Yeah, so I really recommend that. And there they had like an editor area where you could just go and fill up a paper. Of course, Japan, there's always going to be a paper to fill out.
Lots of papers.
Yeah.
Learn your kanji. Yeah.
So I just did that, and then you can go and show your stuff.
Oh, that's great.
That was how I got in touch with my publishing.
That sounds a lot less stressful than having to go to a company like by yourself and show your stuff. Yeah. I think an event like that might be a good way to start out, guys. Yes, that's real life, guys. It's actually like that.
Well, it really depends. Like, I read a manga called Bakuman.
Yes, I've heard of it,
So I thought it was gonna be like that. Like, everyone is just like dying.
Yeah.
But it's not that hard, and it's really like, it depends what you're doing. So I'm only working part-time actually, because my manga doesn't run in a magazine. It just gets like, it's published on my blog actually.
Okay.
So then that gets collected as tankobons, like manga books. But if you have like weekly serialization, then
you're pretty like tight for your schedule. You have to get them out.
Insane.
Oh god.
It's amazing though.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So do you enjoy it? Are you enjoying working as a mangaka?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
It's amazing.
You're glad that you chose this path?
I am so happy that I got this chance to be published in Japan as well. Like, I never thought it would happen, actually, but it did, and you can do it.
Yeah, I think that's really cool that you're an example that it can happen, because I know lots of you guys, I see you commenting on my videos asking if it's possible to be a mangaka here, and I've seen people reply to you, be like, no, there's so much Japanese competition, you won't have a chance, but Åsa is proof that it can happen, so don't give up. If you're really passionate about becoming a manga artist, then go for it, why not? If you fail, you fail, but you might as well give it a shot. Right?
Yeah.
So,
I should also just probably say that I'm not the only one either.
Right.
So there are others. There's a German girl called Caroline Eckhart. She's published 2 tankobons, and I have another friend called Benjamin Boas who writes manga scripts. Cool. He doesn't draw it himself, which is actually quite common. Yeah. That's
cool. So that's another option too. If you suck at art, one of the questions was, is it more important to be a good artist or good at coming up with story? So you could do just one or the other, even if you're only good at one of them. Yeah,
you can. It's actually quite common. So there's quite a lot of that, like people who want to tell their own stories or something, and then they get a Japanese mangaka to draw it for them. So.
Cool. That's neat.
But the thing about being a foreigner as a mangaka in Japan, that is like your strongest point and your weakest point at the same time. It's just monstrous.
And of course it's insane. Yeah.
But as a foreigner, like, that's your weapon.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you can do that Japanese people can't do, and the thing that I've been told constantly from my teachers to like from my publishers and everyone is that you should, use your foreign perspective when you write stories. So like, it's a bit limiting, really, because you basically draw like mangas about being a foreigner in Japan, or like about your own country, or like international marriage love stories or something. But yeah, it's so true though, because like that's what
Yeah, that's what you can do and other people can't, so
yeah,
you should
kind of
use
like
that.
a secret weapon kind of thing.
Yeah. So let's talk about your new books that are out. I read your first Yonkoma manga series, and the art is so different to that.
Yeah.
It was neat to see the contrast in those. And these are published in Japanese, Swedish, and English, just so you get like an idea of her artwork. That's focusing. It's called Sayonara September. So what the books look like. Yeah, so what's the main idea?
It's a 1 year, during 1 year, the main character is a girl who wants to become a manga artist, and her process.
Yeah, so that might be kind of interesting for you guys too. Yeah. Is it based a lot off of your personal experiences, you feel?
Yeah, some of it is, yeah. But it's quite dark and very dramatic, because I think that it's actually very interesting, like when foreigners draw manga, foreigners that have been reading like Japanese manga and stuff, like what you get inspired by, what you use in your own books as well. So it was a lot of like Sailor Moon, Shoujo Kakamutana, and like dark stories as inspiration.
Yeah, I like that because it's such a contrast to your first work that I read. So I think
it's
that's
so
really
different
cool.
from my strip comics.
Yeah.
People who read it,
Yeah.
like both of them were like, "Oh my god,
I can't believe you wrote
okay?"
it. They're kind of shocked, but no, I think that's really cool that you have such flexibility to be able to make both types. But yeah, I will link everything down below, guys, so make sure to check them out. Very beautiful, very fun to read, very hard to put down, very interesting, so I totally recommend them. And yeah, I'm so proud of you for doing so well here. I know how hard it is to work,
you
so
really.
totally respect that. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy talking to Åsa-san. If you have any questions for her, leave them down below, and maybe I can relay them over to her and we can reply to them. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yay! Bye!